Alright, we've got a special one here today. This is another Genesys deck here. This is Dinomorphia, son. That's right. Dinomorphia, they do have Rex Theorem. He costs 90 freaking points, so he's not in the deck. There is a special card in here that is taking up a lot of points. I want you to try and guess what it is. This is, right here, this is 39 cards, okay? 39 cards in the main deck, because the secret card... You see that way over there? That's the card. I want you to try to guess what that card is. Fairy Cheer Girls, she's guarding that right now. You can't have that card right now. It's coming last, very last. Right now, we're going to get into the main deck here. Then we'll do the side deck. Then or extra deck, whatever it's called. And then we'll do that card way over there. But for now, let's do this. So just take a guess what that card is. I'll let it stew for now. First off, we have the main deck, the monsters, 3 Dinomorphia, Theresia, of course, and then 2 Diplos. We all know, if you know Dinomorphia, you know what these two do. They're literally the only 2 main deck Dinomorphia monsters that exist. Obviously, Theresia is way better than Diplos. She sets a freaking Dinomorphia trap from the deck. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. So that's it for the monsters, by the way. Because now we have the spells. 3 Pot of Extravagance, because it doesn't cost anything in Genesys, and we need a little bit of draw power here. 3 Pot of Duality, because for some reason they don't also cost any points, which I'm happy about. Another card that doesn't cost any points, and I'm very happy about, because I throw it in every deck, is 3 Upstart Goblins, of course. Guess what? That's it for the spells. 9 spells. Okay. We're moving on to the real shit here. The traps. This is all traps. Alright. It's been a while since I ran a massively trap-heavy deck like this. We have the Dinomorphia stuff first. Probably the best Dinomorphia trap in the game, in my opinion. Dinomorphia Domain. You pay half your life points. Fusion summon a Dinomorphia fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from pretty much anywhere. You literally can send them from the deck if you wanted to. That's what you're going to do. Now, paying half your life points is key in this deck. It's key, I'm telling you. It's important. And every Dinomorphia trap does it. This one, you pay half your life points. You fusion summon a Dinomorphia fusion monster from your extra deck, using 1 monster from your deck, and then 1 monster from your extra deck. It's kind of like Domain, but just not as good in my opinion. Still pretty good though. Next, we have one. This one costs a point or so. I'll show the point values on screen like I did for the Gishki stuff. We'll probably be down here somewhere. But Dinomorphia Intact. You pay half your life points when a monster effect is activated, and you control a Dinomorphia card. You negate the activation, destroy that card, and that's pretty much it. Not bad. Pretty good. Next, 2 Dinomorphia Alerts. So with this one, you pay half your life points, special summon up to 2 Dinomorphia monsters from your graveyard, whose total levels equal 8 or less. So you could either do 1 Diplos, 1 Theresia. You could either do 1 of the fusion, the big fusion lady. Whatever your preference is. Next, 2 Dinomorphia Sonic. You pay half your life points. I know you're shocked about that. When your opponent activates a spell or trap while you control a Dinomorphia monster, you negate the activation, destroy that card, then you destroy a Dinomorphia monster you control. I'm not happy about destroying a Dinomorphia monster, but it is what it is. Next, we have... This one's kind of interesting, kind of mediocre, but I like it. It's kind of interesting. If you control a Dinomorphia fusion monster, that's the shitty part. You pay half your life points, banish a counter trap from your graveyard, then this effect becomes that effect. It's kind of cool for a card that I'll show later, but it can copy pretty much any of the Dinomorphia... Okay, I say any of the Dinomorphia counter traps, but there's literally only one that we're running. That's Dinomorphia Sonic. So yeah, it's not as good as the others. Brute, it's also not as good. Pretty much it's just you pay half your life points, destroy a Dinomorphia monster you control, and then 1 card your opponent controls. That's literally it. Next, we're done with the Dinomorphia stuff. We're running just generic traps now. We have Trapaholic. Now this one is worth points as well. I think it's like 7 points a piece, which is kind of nutty. This is a good card though. You target a trap you control, destroy it, and then if you do, set one normal trap from your deck, except itself. That trap can also be activated that turn as long as you have 3 or more traps in your graveyard. That card is insane, especially for the card that I am keeping over there as a secret. Next, we have now this is an interesting one here. Ferret Flames. You probably never even heard of this card before. It's good in Dinomorphia, though, because if the combined attack of all face-up monsters your opponent controls is higher than your life points, you can make them to where they have to shuffle all those cards back into their deck. That's insane. Because if everything goes right in this, we're going to be down to almost no life points, which is what we want. So this will pretty much shuffle back anything your opponent controls. Next, Iron Thunder, boys. This is like Solemn Judgment, kind of, except not really as good, kind of, I guess. It only negates spell, trap, or monster effects, which is fine. And it's only effects that activate on the field, too, by the way. Then if it destroys, it will negate the activation and then destroy that card. Then if it does, it destroys any card in that card's column, which is pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. This card can also be copied, since it is a counter trap. It can be copied with Dinomorphia Reversion, which is interesting. I like that. It's a pretty cool interaction there. We're not going to run any Solemn cards because the Solemn cards cost points, and we're at the limit here. Not because of this card. Dinomorphia, or not Dinomorphia, Dogmatica Punishment. You know what that does. I'm not even going to explain that one. All right. Moving on to the extra. Have you figured out that card yet? Nope. Okay. Moving on to the extra deck. We have, of course, the best monster in the extra deck, Dinomorphia Kentragena. She is at a grand total of 4,000 freaking attack. However, she does lose attack equal to your life points. So that's why we want to be at really low life points. She also has the ability to have our life points, then copy a Dinomorphia spell or trap. Or, no, it's just normal trap. They don't have any spells. You copy a trap from your graveyard by banishing it, which is pretty cool. Next, that one, I don't summon this guy. He's really just in here for me to use Frenzy to send him to fuse into Kentragena. I'm not even going to explain what he does because I don't really care. I'm sure you know what he does. It's Dinomorphia Stealth Purgia, but yeah, I don't summon this guy ever. Next, a card that is kind of interesting that you might want to summon. It's kind of a combination of cards here. It is Raider's Knight into Ark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. So you summon the Raider's Knight, detach one material from him, and immediately overlay him into Ark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. This is a big beefy boy. He is at 3,000, and then this guy can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Then you detach a material from this card. He gains attack equal to the original attack of all other monsters on the field, and that is fucking insane. God damn. So yeah, he's a big beefy boy right there. That'd probably be the only Xyz that you're going to go into. Next, we just have Time Thief Redoer. You could probably replace him with something like these, like anything that would activate off Dogmatica Punishment. That's pretty much the only reason those are in here. Yeah, of course, we have 2 Intis and then 2 Garura, of course. Big shocker, I know. Alright, so that is it for the extra deck, and that is it for the main deck as well. Have you figured out what that card is? Because I am about to explain it right now. Now, I just want to say that this card is one of the most broken cards that I have ever used in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. And by broken, I mean it is one of the jankiest freaking cards ever. And it's a good thing that it was banned. And I don't think it ever needs to come back. Have you figured it out yet? It is Last Turn. This card is so broken that it is ridiculous. And I don't mean that it's overpowered. It is pretty overpowered, but I mean it is just so, I don't know, it's jank. It is jank incarnate. This is literally the jankiest card I've ever seen in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, if you don't know what this card does for some reason, You can only activate this during your opponent's turn when your life points are 1,000 or less, which is insanely easy to do in this deck, obviously. Then you target one monster on your field. Send every other card in both players' hand and their field to their graveyards. Then your opponent special summons a monster from their deck in face-up attack position and attacks your targeted monster. Any battle damage from that battle is 0, and the player whose monster remains on the field at the end phase wins the duel. Any other result is going to be a draw. So if both monsters are on the field, it's a draw. If both players' monsters are destroyed, it's a draw. Now, what this card doesn't specify is that it has to be activated before the battle phase. So let's say you have 0 chance in winning this duel. All you have left is like a Diplos that's on your field for some reason. He's at 1,000. You can activate this card during your opponent's end phase. You can activate this card, and boom. Nobody can battle because it's not the battle phase anymore. So nobody can attack. Therefore, it ends in a draw. You say, fuck you to your opponent. If I can't win, nobody can win. And you just end in a draw. But let's say the good case scenario is you're setting real pretty on this hot lady right here, who is going to be probably at 3,500 at least. Let's say your life points are down to 500, because it's pretty easy to get down to that much in this deck. What the hell is your opponent going to summon from the deck that's going to be able to get over her? It would have to be something that destroys something by card effects, just by being summoned out, or something like that. I can't think of anything that has attack higher than that can just crash into her and destroy her. Also, if she ends up getting destroyed in any way, she'll just float into Dinomorphia Theresia. So therefore, it's like a backup button. Like, oh no, she got destroyed. Press the button. Oh, there's Theresia. So now the duel ends in a draw again. Fuck you. Also, you can be extra toxic and use Dinomorphia Brute before the battle even happens. You can use Brute. You can use her effect to copy Brute to destroy both herself and whatever monster your opponent summoned off last turn. And you win because you float into Dinomorphia Theresia or Diplos, whichever one. And your opponent doesn't have any monsters left. This card doesn't specify that to win the duel, you have to have the monster that you targeted by using its card effect. That's not how that works. It's if there's any monster on either player's field, that player wins. It doesn't matter what monster it is. It's so janky. It's ridiculous. I kind of like it in a chaotic sort of way. Anyways, that's the deck. Good luck playing this shit, or playing against this shit, because it is messy. I can't imagine trying to figure out the rules of this shit. I honestly am flabbergasted this was not 100 points. This is 75 points. I can't believe that I'm able to use this in a deck. It's insane.